Harshit?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. And yeah, before proceeding further, I just want to know about your background. I mean, your educational background, or if you're working, your current working profile.
Um, I have a bachelor's degree in math and science.
Okay.
Yeah, and right now I'm not working.
Okay, okay. Um, any idea, like, or else, let me know, what made you to choose a BA particular?
One of my brother, he is into IT and he does the same thing, but he does it in Pakistan. And
Okay.
he had asked me a few times that I should get into this
Mm-hmm.
because of my health condition. So finally now
Uh,
I decided that I have to get into it.
okay, okay, good, good. So do you have any idea like what a BA's roles and responsibilities are?
Yeah, the BA role is to between the person who wants to get the software made. His job is to collect the information and then write the requirements and then give it to the developers after screening them.
Hmm. Okay, okay. Yeah, perfect. That is one of the role of a BA. Anyways, we'll look into details of that. Okay. This initial slide mentions about who all can do this course, okay? So a person with very good communication skills, both written
Mhm.
and verbal, can go with this course. See, written in the sense as we are, sorry, as a business analyst, we are involved in coming up with so many documents. So that's the reason we need to be very much perfect in writing documents also. That is one more major requirement. And any fresher with some basic degree and a domain knowledge is eligible for this particular course. And give me a minute. I guess you already have a demo record with you.
Yeah, I was just watching the demo, so I
Okay, okay, fine. Give me a minute. Then Vishnu is. Okay. So Harshit, any idea what an SDLC is?
SDLC,
Yeah.
Software Development Lifecycle.
Yes, yes, perfect. Do you know what all we will be doing under that particular SDLC as a BA?
What all we going to do
What are we supposed to do with SDLC? Why it used?
is to create a software that somebody can use for their business.
Okay, okay, fine. Actually, why I'm asking is, if you have my recordings with the basic demo one, the initial class will be on SDLC. Like, I thought you just had gone through that SDLC process. Anyways, no issues. Okay, give me a minute.
Okay.
Hello, Harshit.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So,
Yeah.
Today we'll look into the basics of SDLC, all the 6 phases of SDLC, and what are the roles and responsibilities of different people under each and every phase, and what will be the outcome of each and every phase, and how that will for your next phase. Okay. For in details of, so let's look into this basic definitions. So any idea what project or product is?
Project is for example, if I want to develop a software for a small business, so to do the whole process of from beginning to the end would be a project.
Okay. And what is product?
Create is the product. If you create the software, that's the product you would come up with.
Sorry, it was not audible to me. Can you please repeat that?
Okay, the project, whatever we are going to get at the end of the project, the completion of the project, that will be a product.
Okay, I got it. See, actually, that's not correct, but project is something which is developed based on a particular customer's requirement, and that is used by only that particular customer. Okay, and whereas your product is something which is developed based on multiple customers' requirement and it is used by multiple people. That is a major difference. And are you aware of, or else have you heard of companies mentioning that they are project-based companies or product-based companies? Have you heard of this term?
I'm new to IT.
Okay. So no issues. Let me give you the example for you. You'll be much more clear then. Okay. Are you a Outlook user? Microsoft Outlook user? No, I'm just asking you. Have you worked on this Microsoft Outlook?
Microsoft Outlook? Yeah.
Outlook for emailing process.
Yeah, for the email. Yeah.
Yeah. So consider that as of course, it is used by multiple people, right? It's a product actually, okay? If that is developed by MS, Microsoft, and that is a product for you initially, and let's say if your company is using that with some customizations, okay? That particular Outlook is used by your company with some customizations. That means it is only used by only a set of people, that's it, right? After customizations.
I see, yeah.
That is a project for you.
So that is a project which is for a limited number of people.
Yes, limited number of people according to their requirements. Okay, clear with the difference? Okay, you can just note down these differences. If you are ready with the pen and paper, I'll give you the names. Okay, good.
No, I didn't get the pen and paper. I got it.
Okay, so you want to write these two things, the definitions?
I can write it, yeah.
Okay, so project is something which is developed based on a particular customer's requirement and that is used by that particular customer only. Similarly for a product which is used by, of course, which is developed by a company specification and it is used by multiple people. Now, what do you think a defect is?
What is the defect?
Yeah.
Defect would be, for example, you created a product and you want to, on the application form that you created, you want to put the application information in. So maybe I'm just going to give an example, date of birth and taking the date of birth.
Okay.
So that would be a defect.
Perfect. Anything which is deviation from your actual requirement is your defect. Okay. So testing, again, testing is a process of identifying your defects and working on that. Okay, Harshit, are you clear with these basic definitions?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now, yeah. We'll look into the process of developing a project in a software company. So, are you aware of a bidding process?
Bidding process, no.
Okay, I hope you might have heard the term bid.
Yes, I did. I know people bid on the houses, people bid
Yes.
on eBay, and
Yes, perfect. The same concept is applied for projects also. I mean, software projects also. So, the difference is the over here we bid on software projects or software applications. It may be a product also. So, the company, whoever is making these bids with respect to the client's requirements, and client will be looking into all those things, and whoever gives the best bid for him, he'll be choosing that particular person. And once that is done, there will be an initial meeting that is called as kickoff meeting. Okay, usually this particular kickoff meeting is conducted in a software company after the project is signed off. Okay, once the project is signed off, it is conducted in order to discuss the entire view of the project. Okay, and this is
first they bid on it, and then whosoever the customer chooses,
hmm,
then they have an initial, after signing up the papers, they're going to have this meeting to look
perfect,
into.
perfect, yeah. So the people involved in this particular meeting will be the project manager, technical manager, quality managers, test engineers, tech leads will be involved, and they'll be uh, discussing on the high level requirements of the meeting. Sorry, high level requirements of that particular project. Okay. Then once that is done, based on that particular meeting, the project manager is supposed to come up with a PIN, that is project initiation note. Okay, this is a mail. Initiation note.
Okay, project
Initiation.
note.
Yes, yes. This is a mail prepared by a project manager, and it is sent to the CEO of the company to get a go ahead sign from them. Okay. Once the CEO gives the permission to go ahead with the project, then the process of SDLC comes into picture. Okay.
So this the PIN, the PIN is we have the kickoff meeting. Whatever the material discussed in that kickoff meeting, that is put into writing, and that becomes the project initiation.
That is given to your CEO, and this project initiation note is a mail which is prepared by your project manager discussing the high level things whatever we have mentioned in the kickoff meeting, and that is sent to your CEO.
Okay.
Clear? Clear with the things?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Then look into this SDLC guys. So you're just aware that SDLC is software development lifecycle.
Development life cycle.
That's it. Any other idea you have with this?
With the SDLC?
Yeah.
No, that's all I know.
Oh, okay, perfect. So Harshit, this SDL process is we'll be developing any particular process or any project or product using this SDLC methodology. I mean, right from the scratch, right from the initial requirement gathering process to the deployment process, what all is involved with the project, that will be dealing under SDLC with different stages, 6 different stages, okay?
Okay.
So in the first phase, in the initial phase, the major task is to get the requirements from your clients, the stakeholders. Um, any idea who the stakeholder is?
Say that again. Who is the what?
Stakeholder.
Stakeholder?
Yeah, let me write it for you.
Okay.
Stakeholder.
Stakeholder. That could be the person who's uh, stakeholder is the one that the client. It would be a client, isn't it?
Yes, yes, perfect. client and some of the people, I mean the people who are directly or indirectly responsible for the product or project to be developed. Okay, all these people are your stakeholders. And even there is a term called shareholders. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, yeah, shareholders. Yeah.
Who is a shareholder?
Like, every company is, whenever we make a company, the company we put a number of shares, like in
Yeah.
Michigan they put like 60,000 shares. So
Yeah.
anybody who buys those shares, they number or a percentage of shareholders. It can be thousands of people for that.
Yes, yes. Okay, the basic difference is shareholder is a person who is involved with the commercials of the company, profits and losses of the company. Whereas your stakeholder is directly or indirectly involved with the process or project. So even your end user of your product may be a shareholder for you. Okay? Any person, any stakeholder, sorry, any shareholder is a stakeholder for you, but not the otherwise. I mean, all the shareholders are not stakeholders.
Stakeholders are directly involved in the running the company, I would say. Or
Directly, indirectly. That means they are directly involved with the process, or indirectly, even your end users of the product is stakeholders.
okay.
Clear?
The
Clear with
people
the difference?
are the stakeholders, those who directly work or indirectly.
Yes, yes. Okay.
What you said that I'm going to write it for you, the shareholder or the stakeholder. Where did you write it? I cannot see it.
No, no, I'm just giving you the descriptions of this initial phase and while discussing that I got this term, right, stakeholder and shareholder. Anyways, if you're clear with the concept, I want you to come up with the basic differences between these two. Write down.
Okay, the stakeholder is the one who's directly involved with the company stuff. A shareholder can be somebody who, like a sleeping partner, he just invests his money in and he's on the side.
Not sleeping partner, he's supposed to work, but he's involved only with the commercials, profits and losses of the company.
Okay, the shareholder is only involved with the profit and loss at the end. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So maybe this is an assignment for you. I want you to get me the complete differences between these two, shareholder and a stakeholder.
I will. I will.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Then, yeah, we were discussing on the initial phase, right? Yeah. The roles involved in this particular phase are your business analyst and the engagement manager. Okay? And the process is like initially the business analyst is supposed to go to the client and with an initial meeting he is supposed to gather the requirements, and whatever the requirements gathered from the discussion part he is supposed to mention that under a particular format, and that format is called as BRS, Business Requirement Specification Document, which is prepared by your business analyst.
Business requirement
Specification Document, BRS.
specification.
Yes, yes, exactly, specification. Okay, once that is done, he'll be back to the company and those gathered requirements are discussed with the engagement manager, and then the engagement manager will look into that and see like if there are any gaps in between or if there are some extra requirements that to be gathered from the client. All those things are discussed and mentioned in that meeting. And finally, as I mentioned, the output for this initial phase is BRS, which is prepared by your business analyst. And in some companies, it is even called as User Requirement Specification Document or Functional Requirement Specification Document, FRS or BRS or URS or CRS, Client Requirement Specification Document. Okay, it completely depends on your company. And this BRS, which is the outcome from initial phase, is an input for your next phase, that is analysis phase. Okay, over here, by looking into the requirement details, we are supposed to do 4 different tasks under this analysis phase. So the first one is a feasibility study, then doing a tentative planning, and then selecting a technology which is used for that particular project, and finally requirement analysis. Okay, fine, Arshad?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Can you please help me with this? The first one is feasibility requirement. The feasibility
yes.
study we do.
Yes,
Number 2.
feasibility study is nothing but it is like a detailed study of all the requirements, whether with the existing resources we will be able to develop that requirements or not. Okay. Then a tentative planning is we will be doing a estimations like how many resources are required for that complete project to be developed, and both technical resources and human resources. That planning is done under tentative planning. And then,
Okay.
yes, and then the technology selection. So technology selection is we'll be selecting what are the technologies we are supposed to use at the environment, like what is a front end, back end, what is used for database, all these things. For example, front end you can talk about .NET some versions, and back end some database, MS SQL or MySQL 2002. Okay, all those technologies are decided under your analysis phase. And then once the technology selections is done, we'll proceed with analyzing each and every requirement. So requirement analysis process goes on from here. So the list of the requirements are mentioned in a document, and that is BRS, and each and every requirement is cross-checked whether we will be able to develop them successfully without any bugs which are listed over there. Okay, and the proof for this particular phase, analysis phase, is SRS, Software Requirement Specification Document.
Please say that again. SRS
Okay.
stands for?
Software Requirement Specification Document. Again, this is prepared by your business analyst. But project manager and system analyst will be there to help us to prepare this document. Project managers or SMEs, subject matter experts. All these people will be matter experts, SMEs. Let me write it. Yes, let me write it for you, Harshad. Sorry, experts. Clear?
Yeah, where are you writing it? I'm unable to see that.
Oh, in the chat window? See this chat, right? I'm showing this on the screen.
I do not see it.
Is this chat is not appear for you? You need to click, I guess. You need to maximize this chat. This is how it looks.
I'm connected to you on my smartphone.
Okay, fine. So let me write it on the screen itself, okay?
Okay. One question, at the end of this lesson, will I be able to get the recording of it?
Yes, recording and also respective notes also, this particular notes, whatever we have discussed today.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, based on that, the SRS, we'll be getting an SRS, and that SRS will be input for your next phase, that is design phase. Of course, that is input for all the developers and design people, because that is prepared by BA and shared among all the stakeholders to make sure that everyone is on the same line. Okay. And then under the design phase, we are supposed to come up with high level designing and low level designing on the basic architecture. Okay, so the people involved in this particular phase are your chief architect and also the technical lead. So chief architect is supposed to come up with a basic architecture of complete, high level architecture of your application, and based on the high level architecture, your the technical lead will be coming up with a low level architecture. Okay, he will be segregating that to low level design.
Okay, so we have the chief architect and the technical team. Both are going to work together to create the high level and the low level design.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So once that is designed, over here, the proof for this particular phase is a TDD document. It is TDD. Are you able to say this? TDD? Technical design document.
Or technical.
Yeah, technical design document.
Technical design document. Okay.
Yeah, it is a mix of HLD and LLD. High level design document and low level design document.
So what's the difference between a high level and a low level?
Okay, see, high level is what we gather from the client, like a high level requirement process. Okay, and once we segregate that to multiple requirements, then that will be low level requirements for you. Okay, let me give you an example for that. Okay, let's say I want you to withdraw $100 using your card, okay, ATM card.
Okay.
So what are you supposed to do initially? Can you give me the process?
Number one, I need to have the card. I need to be at the place where I should be at the right ATM. If it is Chase Bank, I should be at the Chase Bank ATM. Then I insert the card, and then I should know the passcode. And then I should be able to enter the amount, whatever they want to get, and then I should be able to operate the machine. They ask me to press.
Okay.
And then once I'm done with it, I need to close the transaction and take my card.
Okay, fine. See, for withdrawing $100, you need to log in first with correct credentials, and then you need to enter the amount which you want to withdraw, and then once the transaction is done, you need to log out. So all these are your segregated requirements, row level requirements.
Okay,
high level requirement will be your withdrawing the cash.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm just giving you a basic example, but imagine you need to segregate different modules to submodules, and submodules to units, and units to subunits at times. Okay, we'll discuss all these things with an examples, but are you clear with the concept?
Yes, I did.
Okay, perfect.
The low level it gives you the steps to do it.
Yeah, it may not be steps all the time. It may be some smaller requirements from your high level requirements.
I think I got the difference between both, the high level and the low level.
Okay, good. Okay, then based on this, we'll be getting the outcome is HLD, a design document, and that will be input for your coding phase. And the coding phase, we are not at all involved as a PA. Only the project developers, that is the software developers, will be involved in this particular phase, coding phase, and they'll be coming up with a complete coding. That is the outcome of this particular phase is source code document, SCD, which is prepared by your developers.
So
source code document.
Source code document.
Yes, exactly, which is prepared by your developers. Okay. And then, based on the source code document, which is prepared by your programmers, they'll be looking into, they'll be coming up with the coding for all the requirements, and then once that is done, it is given to the testing team, where your test engineers will be performing tests on that, whatever the code has been developed, and they'll be finding out the defects, or like it is the process in this testing phase is the test engineers will receive the requirement document from your developers team, and of course initially from business analysts, and they'll be cross-checking whether the given development or given code is according to given requirements or not. And if at all, if they feel like they have any doubts, they'll be arranging a meeting with the business analyst and the developers also, and once they are clear with their doubts, they'll proceed with the testing part. Testing on how the requirements are developed, and if they see the requirements are according to given requirements, then that is perfect. If not, the requirements are again the testing output is given. I mean, what are the after test results that are given to your developers if there is a fault, and again the developers will be cross checking that. And once that is refined, and this process is done until we get a final output without any bugs.
I see.
Without any defects rather. So the outcome of this particular testing phase is a quality output, quality product.
Quality product.
Yeah, final quality product without any bugs. Fine?
Yeah, I understand. We
Okay,
already
good.
have the requirement, the program is developed, and now we are testing it. Is
Yes.
it meeting the requirements or not? If it is not meeting the requirement, we let the developer know, and they have to recode it, and then we retest it, and then we finalize it. And if you don't understand the requirements, we need to have a meeting with the business analyst to understand the requirement.
Yes, yes, and at times what happens is developers may come up with proper code, but due to the understanding differences between the testers, they may end up with doing different kind of testing, right?
Yeah.
So to overcome all these things, initially we'll be holding a meeting to make sure that each and every requirement is gathered properly, understood by testers properly, and because once they feel like they are not able to come up with a proper output, testers will be sending that to the respective developers, right? But so even developers will also check at their end, like whether the issue is with the understanding problem or with the code itself. So once they cross check that, then they proceed with the changing that code.
I think I got the basic idea.
Good.
It's like
Good.
Same thing. What I understand is if they make, like the GM makes a car, and after making the car, they tell people to drive it for some time. So if there's any problem in handling, that they're going to report it back, they're going to fix it, and they're going to test it again. Okay. When everybody's satisfied.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll be getting a bug-free output product, finally quality product, and that product is deployed at your client end. Okay. Over here, the installation engineers or deployment engineers will be there who will be deploying the complete product at the client end, and okay, they'll be given, the client is given the guidelines to how to handle a deployed project at their end, and after the delivery, but even after the deployment process, if at all, if they are facing any problems, then those tasks are given under that maintenance phase. Okay, so based on the problems and problem level, the issues are handled under maintenance phase. So over here, the maintenance phase starts when your project has deployed at your client end, and it ends when the project dies. Okay.
But after the delivery, after the deployment, still there's a maintenance phase which will continue till they use the product.
Yes, till the project dies. So over here what happens is, if you feel like let's say, let me give you an example for this. Let's say a product is developed which is able to accept 100 users login at a time. Okay, and after some time, maybe after 1 or 2 years, the user base has increased and the more than 100 people are logging in at a time. So it breaks, right? The application breaks.
Yeah.
So you need to improve that quality, or you need to improve the performance. So all these such requirements are maintained under your maintenance phase. Clear?
It's the same thing like what happened to Obama's software that people had to buy the insurance, and it could not, deal with the traffic that they had, and then everything collapsed, and then they had to go back and.
Yes, yes, much more similar one. Yeah. So initially you can't estimate everything, right? There might be, we need to include some limitations
I see.
at the initial stage when we are developing that. But throughout the process, if they have any special requirements or anything else to be added, that will be done under your maintenance phase. Okay. Fine, Harshit. Are you clear with these concepts, outcomes of each and every phase?
I think I am, yeah.
Okay, good, good, perfect then. If you have any doubts with respect to this SDLC process, you just let me know.
I will go over these and then.
Okay, anyways, I'll be sharing you the respective documents, whatever we have discussed today. And also, for the next class, I want you to come up with some basics of waterfall methodology. Have you heard of this particular methodology?
No.
Waterfall methodology. It is one of SDLC methodology. Oh, sorry.
Waterfall.
Yeah, waterfall methodology. Waterfall SDLC methodology. Okay. Just the basics of this waterfall methodology. Of course, if you're not able to get it also, leave it. We'll be discussing that in our class much more clearly, because this is space for all the other SDLC methodologies.
Waterfall would be something that you do it and you can go back, because if it is reference to the waterfall, something you develop, you cannot go back and fix it. It's done.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Partially that is what we do under this waterfall. But anyways, I need a proper write-up on this waterfall methodology. Okay, for our next class from you. So 2 assignments, that is shareholder and stakeholder difference, and this is one more thing, waterfall methodology. Okay, based on this, we'll discuss our different methodologies in our next class.
Okay.
As of now, I'm done with the things, initial things. If you have any doubts, you can just ask me.
Oh, we're done with the class today? That's it?
Yes. So this is like the initial class, right? So I thought to proceed with the demo part, but you're already aware of the demo. That's the reason I started with the first class.
Okay, I did saw this, the whole demo.
Sorry?
I did watch the demo video.
Okay, okay. Actually, Sushma mentioned that you already have that recording, so I started with the class.
I think you already had a recording, right, Asha? Like we spoke yesterday.
Recording of what? The stuff that she just
For
covered?
the demo.
No,
Not from Ashwini.
yeah, the demo I had it. Yeah.
Right. Yes. So, I think we can proceed with the class, right? Like, today could be considered as the first day of your class.
Oh, okay.
Why, if you have any questions?
No, so far whatever we did, the SDLC, I think I'm okay with it.
Okay. Yeah. So, Ashwini, so we're gonna have a next class on Monday, or tomorrow would be the.
I'll let you. No, not tomorrow. Of course, I won't be handling sessions on weekends. We'll have it on Monday. Okay, Monday or Tuesday. I'll let you know.
Sure. I think so. The classes would be Monday to Friday at 8 p.m.
8 p.m. your time?
Yeah, EST. Yes.
Okay. I'll give you the confirmations. Okay. Just
Sure. And give me the confirmation. I think Arshad, you are on a CST time zone, right?
No, I'm on Eastern time.
Oh, you are on Eastern. So, yeah, we'll coordinate on, on timing once Ashwini confirms with me. I'll give you a call back, okay?
Okay, and like you said in the beginning, you're going to give me the recording of this, right?
Yes, Ashwini, she'll be, like